You are watching the Staten Soccer Report. And don't forget Monday Live.
Ho dedicato la mia vita ai momenti più felici, ad inseguire un sogno, il mio sogno. Quante volte mi hai deluso, non importa, io ci credo e vivo il mio sogno. Bari, grande amore, Bari, unica e sola, Bari nel nostro cuore, non ti lasceremo da sola, facci sognare.
All right, you're watching the Staten Soccer Report coming to you tonight from the studios of CTV. Studio B tonight. We really had got this show going here. It was like a rush to get this thing going, right?
I know.
I left.
You make me laugh. You forgot
we
your
just
ID.
need to get the monitor on in here. We can't see. But other than that, I want to thank Vito
Thank you.
for coming on.
I feel like I'm your co-host. I've been
yeah,
coming here so often.
That's fine. Listen, it's about talking about soccer. Thank Brian Lapio back helping out with the Staten Soccer Report. Thank you, Kenny. For getting this thing going tonight.
No Vito Insalata tonight.
No, it's all right. The march is to 100, right? Not that we're gonna end at 100, but we're getting close to the 100
He's
show.
working on doing a cooking show for CTV. Tutto
All right.
il mondo è l'insalata. The whole world is salad.
All right. So again, we got a good hour here to talk about. We're gonna spread it around tonight.
Sure.
We're gonna go, all different kinds
Various.
of different leagues and stuff. A lot of soccer going on.
Oh, for sure.
Let me just start off with the youth side, because that's what we do. On the youth side, no game. I don't think maybe some clubs have started their season for the spring.
Mm-hmm.
I know we start on Sunday, the season, so we're looking forward to hopefully having a good season, bouncing on, from last season coming on. That's the Staten Soccer Club girls team that I coach. And good luck to all the other clubs on the island that are going to start their season. If not, they already started maybe a week ago or so. But other than that, there's not much. If people want us to read out their scores, they got to contact me. They got to let me know. I'm not going to go digging. I can't go digging for everything. But again, on the youth side, just contact us through Facebook. Go to the Facebook page, the Staten Island Soccer Report. Go to YouTube or whatever the case is, and leave us messages, and we'll talk about their team. Sure. Right? We'll even try to get them on in the studio if we can. So the March, this is number 94, the 94th show. It's a lot if you think about it,
Yeah,
right?
for sure.
94 shows. Brian behind the glass has been here for most of them. All right. But yeah, let's get right into it.
How
today.
about Body today?
Well, Body played on Friday,
yeah.
right? And they played today.
Yeah.
So let's talk about Friday first, and then we'll get into today.
Friday
Yeah,
wasn't good.
Friday, well, let's get this. Whatever the case is, Friday they played.
Yeah.
And what happened on Friday?
Well, they lost 1-0. Ascoli scored early in the third minute. They never looked back. But good thing they bounced back today with a victory, because if they didn't today, then that would have been a bad situation.
Right. Well, let's not talk about today. So Friday, again, in this game, and I think it probably goes for, all sports. If you're not ready, no matter who the team you're playing, the team was on the bottom of the table. I think,
Correct.
right?
Well, second to last, Ascoli.
Second to last. The monitor's not working? It's probably, okay. So, again, and I saw highlights of that game.
Yeah,
We're talking about Body, Ascola.
Correct.
And they looked like they didn't belong on
Yeah,
the
you
bottom.
mentioned that. Yeah.
They played hungry. The game was a little chippy. A couple of yellow cards in that game. I think one for Body. So it was a chippy game. I don't think Body, they scored in the third minute.
Yeah.
All right.
And you told me, you said you said, Vito, these are the games that define you. You can't beat these teams.
You got it.
That's, that's not a good thing because you want to get to Serie A.
Yeah.
I mean, I believe they got to win out. Now with 9 games, to have any chance to really...
To win out, I don't think, that might be a little tough for them because of who they, what they've done this season.
Yeah.
So yeah, Friday night, they laid an egg and they lost. They scored a goal and
Well,
the goal...
lack of consistency,
The goal came from outside the 18.
Yeah.
All right? And it got through everybody.
Well,
So, terrible loss on Friday.
Mhm.
Then you got the Easter weekend. Hopefully everyone went home and had a good meal and all that and enjoyed the holiday,
Mhm.
right? So, Monday comes. We're back into today. They're playing another road game.
Yeah.
Today.
Yeah.
It was I thought it was a home game.
They're like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde.
So-
1 week they do good, 1 week they don't.
But now, Vito, they were losing in this game.
Yeah, 1-0 they were down.
To the second half.
And then Nene, and then the 90th plus minute, Cece scored the winning goal. So.
Right. So Body, I think, looking back on this season, they've done a lot of if goal scoring, a lot of it in the second half
Yeah.
of games.
Mm-hmm.
So they tie the game up. Even a point would not have been good
Yeah.
coming off that loss on
Correct,
Friday.
correct.
So they came back and they got a victory
Yeah.
today, which is great.
Yeah.
And,
Now they got to look forward to April 11th.
again, the inconsistency. But,
Yeah.
win one, lose one. Are they going to win the next one?
Well,
Are they
next
gonna-
one they'll go into Salernitana. They're gonna play them on April 11th.
Yeah.
Then they got Pescara at home.
Okay,
Then
so
they got Novara on the road.
Oh.
And then they got to play Foggia, which is the derby on
yes,
April 21st.
Yes.
Then they play Entella on the road on the 28th of April.
Mm-hmm.
And then at home for Palermo, which they lost last time. Remember we spoke
Right.
about that?
Well, Palermo beat them
Yeah.
3-0, but
Yeah.
Palermo lost today.
They
which
lost
is
today
a
to
good-
Parma 3-2.
Right,
yes.
which is a good thing. Do you have the City at updated standings?
Body's in 4th place.
Exactly.
And then they got Perugia Body,
Perugia.
Parma, and Carpi Body. That rounds off the season.
So speaking of Palermo, they're another team, but they're in 3rd place.
Yeah, they're
They're
all
in third.
they're all
But
close.
Body could probably catch Palermo because we played them, right?
yeah.
We're playing them one more time, so we
Correct.
got to beat them
Yeah.
in Palermo,
Yeah.
and then hope for some help from other teams.
Of
with
course.
them. 'Cause
I
they
mean,
gotta
we're
lose.
gonna see what they're made of. These last 9 games,
But third place is still gonna. What third
Yeah.
place does, I think it helps you.
you need a
say-
certain amount of points.
No, third place puts you into the semifinal, I believe.
Yeah.
I believe.
But in order for them to get to the playoffs, they got to be a separation from the third, 14-point.
Well, they're in. You know what? Unless they have a major collapse,
Yeah.
Body, I don't think. I mean, they're gonna be in the playoffs. I think.
I think Fabio Grosso is good enough to get them to the playoffs.
Yep.
And if they could even, I mean, the ultimate would be going in direct.
Look, the
We'll
problem
see.
here is that we're far from them. I don't get the real ins and outs of the team, the day-to-day stuff. It seems to me from afar that they're not consistent, right?
Well, that's been
They're
the
not
whole thing.
consistent.
I mean, you know what?
Why? But why
I don't
aren't
know,
they
John.
consistent?
When they won those 4 games in a row, they got their momentum. They needed to keep on playing. Unfortunately, those 2-week postponement
I'm wondering
was
if
a problem.
are the lineups different every week? I'm not really keeping track
I mean,
of
the
that.
talent is there.
We really need someone from Body actually to get on here and give us that information.
But
which
I
we
tell
have
you,
a couple
John,
of people.
I don't see. This is an upgrade from last year to now. You're going to see
Yeah.
them getting in a better position than they were last year. When it's
Oh,
all
yeah.
said and done, you can tell.
Absolutely a better season to this point, than last year because they didn't even make the playoffs. So, but if they drop off here and don't win another game and don't make the playoffs, it's a disappointment.
Nah, but I think I'm being positive. I think they have enough. I think with all these X factors that they have, all these
Listen,
players.
the playoffs is going to be hard. You got to play
Of
2
course.
legs. Whoever you're playing,
Yeah.
you got to play them twice, and you
Yeah.
got to beat them, and then you got to go another round.
Of course.
Well,
Well, this is building experience for Fabio Grosso.
So I don't see them, getting into the second place position because that'd be the best thing.
Mhm.
They go automatically to
Of
sit
course,
out.
of course.
I don't see that happening.
We'll see what happens. I mean, nobody knows for sure, but you want to be optimistic.
Yeah, you do, but after so many years of following this team and disappointment
Yeah.
year after year.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically,
What about
Body.
the MLS?
Yeah, we'll put a close on Body. If anyone out there has anything that they want to comment on, we'll be.
I'll give them the call-in number, John.
Yeah. Well, yeah, Brian's going to put.
Okay.
Well, no, there's no call-ins here because
know.
we're not live, so there's no call-ins on it. But again, they contact us on Facebook, the Staten Island Soccer Report on Facebook and on YouTube, and we can answer all their questions. And hopefully, we'll have them call in on a live show in a couple of weeks. So, yeah, let's jump right into MLS.
MLS.
Big. I gotta
saw
tell you.
that.
Go ahead. Take it away with the
tell
MLS.
you, John, I caught the game at the best time.
Yeah.
I saw that LAFC made it 3-0.
Yeah.
Then all of a sudden it was 3-2, and I was like, why aren't they bringing Ibrahimovic in? They brought him in the 70th minute.
Yeah.
It was like a movie script.
Yeah.
He came in, the last 2 goals,
Unbelievable.
and it goes to show you that he's Mr. Clutch.
Yeah.
And Zlatan stands for the golden one. He proved it.
He.
And I mean, he's just a phenomenal player.
I got to tell you, I've watched a lot of soccer games. All right, a lot of soccer games. We played in a lot. We coached a lot. I've never seen anything like that before. The guy. I mean, first of all, he just got in. This game was on Saturday, right?
Yeah.
I think he got into the United States a day and a half prior,
Mhm.
right? So we're looking at maybe Thursday, sometime
Mhm.
Thursday, right?
Mhm.
Something like. So he's not really. I mean, he's still with the long flight and everything, right? They didn't even know if they were going to play him,
Yeah.
according to the announcers, right?
Mhm.
And the fans were chanting behind him. He's sitting there, and the fans want him in there. So they put him in the 70th minute, right? He only played, or 71st minute. He played 19 minutes.
And I heard, according to an article I was reading, he's looking to get an acting role in LA too.
Yeah, well, of course. That's probably the reason why he went there. Like. So anyhow.
Well, that's going to make them a cup contender.
Yeah.
when it
Well,
comes
I
to the
don't know.
MLS Cup.
I don't know about that. Let's just because LA's. I think they're kind of in a rebuilding phase.
Well, you know what the good news is, John? That Ibrahimovic, it's not going to stop there. There's talk of, I'm not Lionel Messi or Cristiano Ronaldo's sports agent, but there's talk, according to Steven Gerrard and Lampard, they're on their way. I mean, basically, they want to pursue. The league is getting better.
How much money did he get to come to LA? How much money did he get to come to LA?
Well, he was currently at 36 million euros when he was with Manchester.
36 million euros.
Well, that was with Manchester.
Well,
That
I'm
was
wondering. We just got the tip from Brian on the other side, and I'm wondering if this is how much he got from LA. But yeah, I'm sure he got paid a lot of money.
Yeah, no doubt. And you know what? When it comes to Lionel Messi and Cristiano Ronaldo, show me the money.
Yeah,
They do that, MLS will get them. That's for
Look,
sure.
let's get back to the 2 goals he scored, and then we'll move on to because we're going to cover a lot tonight. The 2 goals. I mean, the first goal,
40 yards away.
that's a goalkeeper error right there.
Yeah, he was too. He was
he's
too
not,
far out.
I mean, come on, he's one of the best players.
Yeah.
He saw the keeper come out.
He got caught.
Boom.
And that's it.
First shot that he took, first touch on a soccer ball in the MLS was a goal.
Yeah.
So
You couldn't write a better script. And then what about the second goal, the header?
Well, the second goal now, hold on, forget the header. That's when he scored. But, he was going to the ball. He was offsides.
That's what they said, yeah.
He was offsides going to the ball, but he backed away. So he stayed away from the play. And then they said he was offside. He might have been.
Fractional.
He might have been.
Marginal.
But that stuff is like, it is what it is. I guess the referee's discretion on that. But I thought it was, you let the play go. You leave it alone. And you let the game go. So, yeah, he comes into the league and makes this big splash. But, again, I mean, he's up there in age, and he hasn't played since December.
Yeah.
And he had bad knees, right?
Well, Cristiano Ronaldo's 33, and you want to get these players at the right time. You don't want this to be the old-timers league. And Messi's 31, so I'm 30, going on 31 in June. So hopefully.
He's going to sell tickets in L.A. He's going to sell soccer jerseys in L.A., all right? So a bunch of, kids like him. Fine. But as far as saving L.A., the Galaxy, I don't know. I really don't know how far that team could go. But we could talk about the New York City FC.
Well, you mentioned Claudio Marchisio.
There was rumors of him coming to New York City. I'd love to have him. Right now, we need him. But speaking of New York City FC, the only team undefeated. They haven't lost a game in 4. 3 wins and a draw.
Interesting, because Pirlo, gone, and they're still doing
and I think 3 games without David Villa. 3 games without him, and they're winning these games. So that says a lot about that team. I won't say cup. I don't think they're going to win the cup yet. I have to see a lot more out of this team. But what else on the MLS side?
Well, Tim Weah, that's very important. That George Weah's son. First player born in the 2000s to play for the U.S. national team.
Right.
Debuted in the 86th minute.
Okay.
Bobby Wood scored the goal against Paraguay. They beat them
Yeah.
in a friendly, and
Yeah.
it's nice to get a big name like that, and hopefully
Well,
he could do something and will make a big contribution to the.
The
national
United States men's team is going through a rebuilding stage
for
right
sure.
now. So
And speaking of that, I'm glad you brought that up because
Yeah.
6 coaches that can succeed Bruce Arena. There's names of Peter Varmees,
Peter Vermees,
who
yeah,
actually looks a little bit like you.
right. You mentioned that earlier, yeah.
Sam Aldarsi, Colette
Yeah.
Porter, Greg Burwalter was on the national team,
Okay.
Jesse Marsh, Laurent Blanc, the French legend, along with Patrick Vieira. And they're talking about David Wagner and also Bob Bradley. But you know who wants the job the most? Sol Campbell.
Well,
He expressed it
Bradley
on
just
ESPN.
got the job at LA.
Yeah.
So he's not going anywhere.
And they're rumored for him. But they're saying that
No.
Sol Campbell, the assistant for Trinidad and Tobago, has seriously expressed interest. He was on ESPN mentioning that he wants the job. We'll have to see.
Well, that job. It's just, see, again, with these national team jobs, even with the Italian, they're looking for a coach,
Yeah.
right? The Italians. Does that person want it's like a part-time job,
Exactly.
right? So it depends. Like Bradley's not going to leave LA,
Mhm.
to go coach.
I can't see Bradley coming back, too
No,
soon. You know what? I could see someone like Tab Ramos. I can see someone like Eric.
Why
Ronaldo.
not leave the interim guy that's there now for the U.S.?
Yeah, we'll have to see.
He was the assistant there,
Yeah,
right?
time
So
will tell. We'll see.
I would leave him there. Leave him
Yeah.
and let him
Looks
take
like
the
we got a call, John. Brian's got a call.
Yep, we might have a call. All right,
Yep.
you're on the Staten Soccer Report.
Johnny, welcome back, Johnny.
Hey, Vincenzo. So, how you doing, Vincenzo? We got Vincenzo Torzo on the line.
Thank you, Johnny.
Hey, Vincenzo, this is our 94th show. It was kind of a last-minute type of thing, and I'm glad that we got it going because there is always a lot of soccer going on around the world to talk about.
For sure.
So I got
sure.
Vito here. I got Vito here with me
Ciao,
tonight.
Vincenzo.
Hey, Vito, how are you?
Ok, come stai?
Stiamo in serata.
Sì, sì. Questa settimana Fabio Capello ha dato dimissioni alla squadra cinese. Vediamo se è possibile che può essere il prossimo CT della nazionale.
L'Italia, I think Vito, that Italy, they have the best coaches.
Yeah.
So you have Capello, Ancelotti, Ranieri, you name them.
Yeah,
Conti.
You can make a long list.
that's true.
And, the question now is the money involved, is the passion, the love.
That's true.
Vincenzo Torzo's name tag, please, Brian.
And you know what? At 71 years old,
Oh, you don't have it? Okay.
at
no problem.
71 years old, I think if you get, it's now or never for Fabio Capello to coach the national team. Legend.
Yeah.
I think he's the best guy that could work
Oh,
with the youth. He's
he's-
won everything there is to win.
Yeah, he's
He
older.
won with Milan titles in a row, 4 consecutive titles.
Yeah.
He goes to Juventus, he wins there. He goes to Roma, they haven't won in 2 decades, he wins there.
Right.
He goes to Madrid, he wins there. So he is a phenomenal coach,
Absolutely.
magical coach with a lot of talent and a lot of vision. And I think it would be the perfect replacement if they go in his direction. And now would be the best time to get him because he's not coaching. So
Yeah.
that would be a great ending to his coaching career.
Well, remember, Vito, you can put Ancelotti, Conti, Capello. You can't go wrong with anyone. You cannot go wrong.
Yeah.
So Capello, what we want to do is to bring Italy back to the
To the glory.
Put him
gold-
back-
gold standard.
Back on the map.
Because right now, what took place last time maybe happens every 100 years. Who knows?
Sure, sure. I can't see Alessandro Costacorta selecting anybody but a Milan guy. And his protege was Fabio Capello.
Yeah.
That was his coach where he won everything. And then Ancelotti, they were teammates. But the thing with Ancelotti is, seems like he wants to continue coaching at the club level. There's talk of EPL. There's talk of different clubs in England.
Yeah.
So I don't know. If
Yeah.
he gets a big contract with England, maybe it's not his time yet. I mean, he's still 59. He could always coach the national team, but maybe Capello's the most ready.
Well, Vincenzo, my thinking is that, the young guys really don't want to do a part-time job because that's what it is with the national teams when it's part-time. if they could get a contract with a club, for 3 years, of course they're going to take that first,
Yeah.
Well, remember also, Johnny, we have to remember this, like Vito was saying, Capello, but if he still has the energy to teach,
Yeah.
to coach,
Absolutely.
then he would be the best candidate. But remember, he mentioned he's my age,
Yeah.
maybe
Yeah.
a year older than me.
Yeah. He's.
So, same thing with me. My age, I still love, but the energy level is not the same.
Yeah.
If he has the energy level, Vito, you'll be the best, the man to select Capello.
Yeah.
So,
No,
All right,
for sure,
all right,
definitely.
we got Vito here, Vincenzo Torzo on the telephone, Staten Island Soccer Report. Like us on Facebook, like us on YouTube. And right now, Vincenzo, we're live on YouTube.
oh, okay, Johnny.
Okay, so no television live. We're gonna tape it, but we're live on YouTube.
You know that he's got a percentage with England, 66.67 when he coached the national team of England. And he coached Russia, was at 53.13. Madrid, his coaching percentage was 64.58. I mean, this is the best coach you have since Marcello Lippi.
All right,
Well,
so
like I said, Vito, Capello, on paper right now, I would like the selection. The only thing I mentioned before is the energy level. If he has the energy level, and now because of the age, he will do for the country, for the passion. Where the other coaches, you take Conte. Conte, I heard on the Spanish network news, Paris Saint-Germain, they want to give $1 million a month.
$1 million a month.
Yeah.
$1 million a month. So does he do it for love or for the money?
He's doing it for the money. Look, Vincenzo, he's doing it for the money.
So
This is
that's
what
what
he's
I'm
doing.
trying to tell you.
He's doing it for this.
And, Fabio Capello's got a lot of talent to work with that he could make great. Nicola Barella, 19 years old.
Yeah.
Barreca.
Yeah. Yeah.
Cristante, Chiesa, Calabria. Lorenzo Dickman from Novara, 20 years old.
All right, let's.
Federico Di Marco, 19 years old from Empoli.
So-
he's got a lot of
Chiesa.
talent.
Yeah. So listen. So let's go on. Let's move on from the national team. Vincenzo, we had a City matchup this weekend with Juventus and Milan, and Napoli and Sassuolo, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that's
They
all.
tied. They
So
tied.
give us what your thoughts on what happened this week in the City, Vincenzo. Because in my mind, I think Juventus won the Scudetto.
Vito was saying before, but Gattuso from Milan.
Yeah.
At the end of this year, he should get the best award for coach for the year
Yeah, for sure.
because he took the Milan when Milan was really like in the middle of standing. Look what happened now. He's almost and against the Juventus. Remember, I saw the game, John.
Yeah.
Believe me, Milan didn't play that bad.
Bonucci
They-
scored.
Yeah.
They hit the crossbar.
Yeah.
Buffon made a crossbar, and he made a tremendous save.
Yeah.
So
Oh.
that play there, if it would have went in the net, it would have changed the game around.
Yes. Yes.
So Milan, anybody who plays Milan from now on,
Right.
they're gonna have a hard time.
Yeah, without a doubt, I think he brought some respect back to Milan. Without a doubt, he
sure.
did that. But I don't think he has the team to compete.
soon.
Yeah,
But this year it's over for Milan.
Yeah.
I mean, they wanna capture a spot in the UEFA Cup.
in the UEFA, yeah, Copa
If
UEFA. Yeah.
if they do that, that's like winning a Scudetto for Milan.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's money for them. It's money in the bank.
Milan, like I said, Johnny, the coaches had put some firecrackers in the players. Wake up here.
Yeah.
Gattuso, we were talking about money before. He only makes like about $100,000 a year.
Yeah.
So the newspaper people, they
So-
interview him. They say, listen, let's talk about your contract. You know what he said? Forget about my contract. Let's play the game.
Yeah, that's it. That's it.
At the end, we talk about the contract.
That's it. That's the best answer.
All right? So Gattuso, it seemed like, but he knows his stuff.
No, yeah, he does. No, you know what? He was like a hothead on the field, but he knows, like you said, he knows what he's doing there.
You know, he takes the like from Allegri, from all these previous coaches.
Yeah, yeah.
You know, he learned a little bit from this guy, a little bit
Yeah.
from that guy.
He learns from-
a little bit.
Gattuso always did well, even when he was on the under-21 team. He made contributions, scoring important goals when they
Yeah.
won the European Championship. Did well, knew his role on the national team. He was physical, did his job, defensive duties, and made it. He made everybody better by his qualities on the field. So, and now he's doing it in the coaching level. Yeah, for
and
sure.
that-
He loved the passion.
That's what you're supposed to do. You learn a little bit from everybody. He's been on some great teams, right? So
Yeah.
he's been on some really good teams. So Vincenzo, I mean Napoli. I don't understand how they cannot get a result against.
Sassuolo.
I don't get it.
Well, remember, Johnny, you playing against teams that are
Trying to
desperate.
stay. Yeah, Sassuolo's trying to stay instead. Yeah.
Needs points. And sometimes it's easy to play against like Sampdoria, Udinese, those
Yeah.
teams. They're like nowhere land, They're there, but they're not down, they're not up. You play them, you could easily a victory. But when you play against the low level team,
Yeah.
they need a point. A point for them is like hope.
Well, listen, Napoli. Don't you think Napoli wants to catch Juventus? They were 2 points behind. You would at least want to win a game. This way, you could stay 2 points behind them until you play them, which is in a couple of weeks, in about 3 weeks or so. They play you, Napoli, Juve play, Now there's 4 points separating the two teams, I mean, one more slip up, it's over.
Yeah, of course.
One more slip up by Napoli, they lose points, and that's it. They're done.
Well, remember,
Same old story.
I was saying, Vito, before that Napoli, Juventus, they have two teams.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Napoli, if they have a key player,
Yeah.
Somehow the injury and whatever, Napoli goes back to the drawing board.
Yeah.
So,
I don't
Okay.
think Napoli's ready yet. They need a little bit
Oh,
more
look,
time.
it's been how many years now? 6 years for
Wow.
Juve?
Yeah.
6 years they
Yeah.
won it, right?
Yeah.
This is going to be 7 almost.
Yeah.
So, I think everybody in Italy was waiting to see a game that matters when Juventus and Napoli play each other,
Mm-hmm.
where that's going to be the game for the Scudetto. But now, again, if Juventus doesn't slip up here, that game when they
Yeah.
play each other is going to mean nothing.
Mhm.
4 points.
Mhm.
Even if Napoli wins that game, 4 points doesn't mean 3
Of
points.
course.
You can't do nothing with 3 points. So
yeah.
anyway, Vincenzo, tomorrow let's get to the Champions League.
Mm-hmm.
We got the big games tomorrow. All right. What do you think about Juventus and Real?
Well, I think this year, Juventus, they have 2, possible 3 goalies. Buffon, if you don't play, the second backup goalie is better than Buffon.
Yeah.
So, then you have key players are coming back. Quadrado.
Yeah, he scored a
Right.
goal.
So Quadrado, if you remember last year, he did a great UEFA Cup soccer games. So Quadrado is coming back.
Okay.
Other players are getting better. So Dybala, you notice Dybala,
Yeah. Well.
now he's waking up because he was not called for the national team.
Yeah.
He figures, let me give my best. You always give your best, whatever you're doing in life. And that's what Dybala. So Juventus, I think this might be the year for Juventus.
All right. Let's hope. Let's hope. We got 2 teams. I would love to see a Juventus Roma
Final.
Final.
That would be cool.
Wow, that Johnny, that will make up of not being in Russia.
Yeah,
That's
let's do it. That's right. That would make up for missing. Oh, not really make up
Yeah,
for
it's
missing.
Well,
tough to-
make up, I mean, the part of it.
Well,
Take it out of the picture temporary.
right. At least we know the Champions League will be in Italy somewhere.
Yeah,
Okay.
I mean, at least we could go for that. Yeah?
So-
I tell you, John,
I'm rooting for Roma and Juventus.
that would be, I'm sure, all Italian fans.
Yeah.
But what really gets me is you got all this talent. Alberto Grassi,
Yeah.
20 years old, plays with Atalanta. Moise Keane, 16 years old, Juventus.
Yeah.
These are people that got to be discovered. That they're in Serie A. This is a lot of youth. You know, when they say that there's nobody out there, there's plenty of great
because
players.
they're always gonna pick the big name players.
Locatelli, 19 years old, Milan. Cristiano Lombardi, 21 years old for Lazio.
Yeah.
Rolando Mangrodoria, 19 years old with Juventus.
Yeah.
Then you got Jose Mauri, 20 years old from Empoli. These are all Italian youth. This
Yeah,
is all
the-
Italian. Lorenzo Morosini, 21 years old from Genoa.
So Vincenzo, let me
Morgia
ask
from
you,
Lazio.
how do we get these young players on playing? Somebody's got to give them a chance
Of course.
at some point.
What I always mentioned in the past, that this young guy, they need to play often, because if they go to Juventus, then you play once in a while. Well, with the Empoli, with Genoa, you give them opportunity to grow,
Right.
to learn, and then Vito, senza i soldi non si cantano le messe.
Yeah.
Normally these kids now, they say, oh, I'm ready, the money. You comes a team from Paris Saint-Germain. Oh, this guy, let me give him the money. And then they forget what we're trying to teach them,
That's the thing. If you're not a big name player, you're not going to play with Juventus, Milan, Napoli, Roma. You got to be big.
You got to keep these players in the Italian league because that's been a big problem.
Yeah.
I mean, Pellegrini now with Monaco, 16 years old, a
Yeah.
prodigy. Can you believe the money that they offer him at Monaco? And it's like, you got never before in the history all these players playing in abroad. Nobody wanted to play abroad. You were Italian, you wanted to play in Serie A.
You got Felix that wants to call in, right?
Okay.
We'll give
yeah.
him a text.
Okay.
Tell him. Vincenzo,
Okay, Johnny.
listen, Vincenzo, what's going on? You guys are on break now, right? In Brooklyn?
Spring break.
Yeah, with the Easter break,
Okay.
we're gonna pick up at the 14th and the 28th. We'll finish, and then outdoors another.
Okay. All right, Vincenzo, we'll be back live in about 2 weeks on a Monday. A couple of weeks from now, we'll be live in the Studio A, and we'll talk to you then. Okay, Vincenzo? Be good.
Okay, Johnny. Good luck to you guys, and
okay.
buonanotte.
Buona
Buonanotte.
Pasquetta.
Ciao, ciao. Buona
ciao.
Pasquetta.
Okay, very
Ciao,
good.
ciao.
Ciao, Vincenzo.
Ciao, ciao.
Vincenzo the Great, they call him. Hall of Famer, St. Francis College. He's. I tell you, I wish he was in Staten Island. He'd be on the show with us. He's
Yeah,
just
for the 100th.
Well, for the 100th, we got to get someone to pick him up. We got to maybe we'll send the Staten Island Soccer Report limousine to get him.
I just let Felix know.
Yeah,
so
we'll get
I
Felix
just
in,
texted him,
and
so
we'll get
hopefully
his.
we're gonna-
This way, because we've got about
Also,
20 minutes.
Lorenzo Pellegrini, Sassuolo, 20 years old.
Yeah.
Betagna, very good player for Atalanta, 21 years old.
Yep.
You know, you got an American player for Fiorentina, Joshua Perez, 18 years old.
Oh, okay. Yeah, all right, we got a caller.
It's
You're on the.
Felix.
You're on the Staten Island
Hey,
Soccer.
Neil, how are you, man?
All right, how's it going, Felix? You're on the Staten Island Soccer Report, hosted by John Conteduca. What do you? What's on your mind? What do you want to talk about, soccer-wise?
Yeah, I guess Juventus won. Kedira is the man.
Yeah, Juventus. It seems like when it comes to the Scudetto, they're the king. But the big question is they got to do it in the Champions League. That's where it counts.
I think that's what they want. Yeah, they don't want. I mean, Serie A is easy for them, but they need the Champions League.
I also want to hear your opinion on who do you think the next coach of Italy will be, and who should it be, Felix?
Well, I will say Ancelotti. Ancelotti will be the better coach.
Yeah.
Since he's been exposed to many big teams with a lot of money.
You know what
So
is?
he will be a great coach, I think.
Yeah, it's a great choice to go with Ancelotti, but the rumor is, Felix, that they're saying that he's looking at EPL clubs, maybe Chelsea, Arsenal. They're waiting to see what happens with the season. Italy doesn't want to name their coach until May 20th because they're waiting for their season to be over.
Yeah.
Then they got to play Saudi Arabia May 28th, which means nothing for Italy, but means something for Saudi Arabia as they prepare for the World Cup. And Saudi Arabia offered Ancelotti all the money in the world.
Of course.
He refused it. Maybe he refused it for pride to take on the Italy job. We don't know. It's too early to tell.
Oh,
But I
maybe.
tell you, Felix, if Ancelotti doesn't want the job, I think Capello would be a great choice as well. What do you think about that? Because he's another guy that he's a legend.
Yeah, well, Capello's been a coach for a long time, so I think that, will be the second best choice. I mean, it's a shame that Ancelotti will probably, just step back. I mean, he's got these big contracts, so probably, he'll go for the money, Ancelotti. But everything will work out better for next World Cup. It's terrible that we won't see Italy in Russia this time around.
Well, Italy's going to start preparing for the European Championships.
Yeah, I mean, it's a shame.
In September.
And Felix, who's from Ecuador, they're not coming either.
Yeah.
They were getting to the World Cup, quite
they-
often.
right.
So
Well, they're in a tough group,
it's
too.
going to be a weird World Cup. One of my friends mentioned to me Fabio Capello wouldn't be a bad choice because he could groom Ancelotti.
Well, listen,
because he's 71 years old.
Let's
and
talk about this for a minute. The qualifying rounds for where the group that Italy was in, they only lost one game.
That's it.
And they didn't get to the World Cup.
Yeah,
They
yeah.
lost one game,
Yeah.
and that was to Spain,
Of
3-0
yeah.
in Spain.
Yeah.
And that game cost them the World Cup.
Of course.
So
Well, you know
maybe
what?
something needs to be changed about that.
Well,
lost
that's
one game.
That's a rumor too that they want to do something about that. But you know what, John? You can't play second fiddle to Spain. When you beat them in the Euros with Conde, it looked like they were turning the page. They were
Yeah,
getting back to their old glory days. And all these players that I'm naming, they're out there. You got to get them on the field. Penamonti, 17 years old for Inter Milan. Giuseppe Pezzella, 19 years old from Palermo.
Well,
you know?
let's fire Conte from Chelsea. Let Ancelotti go there, and we'll take Conte back to the national team.
Well, I think Conde's going to come back to the national team, but I don't think it's going to be now. I just think that it's too soon. I think you want to change it up a little bit. Let's see what someone else could offer. I think with Capello, he's a mastermind of the game, and I just feel that, you know what? Let him run out his career by coaching Italy. The guy's done everything you want him to do.
Yeah.
And he...
Well, he's got the experience.
He's got
that's
the
for sure.
experience,
That-
and he
that
could work
matters.
well with the youth. I think, and then I think Romagnoli is going to be probably the catalyst in defense. At 22 years old, they're saying he's the next Paolo Maldini. They have to rebuild players that, were champions for Italy for so long.
So the two friendlies that Italy played, the first game was against Argentina. They lost 2-0 to that in that game, and then they came back. They bounced back. I mean, they got a tie against England, which I thought they should have won that game.
Yeah.
But
I saw Immobile had two great chances to score early, very early in the game, and he couldn't put it in. Again, he's struggling on the national team. It's a shame that something is not working there. I don't know if he needs someone to complement them up front, but it's a shame that he could score so many goals in Serie A. Who knows? He might end up with 40 goals this year in Serie A, and then in the national team, he's just a little lost.
I think it's a different level too.
Some
playing.
players could play on the national team and do well in Serie A, and some players
Let's not
can't.
forget Serie A. I mean, you're playing against a lot of bad teams. Okay, a lot of bad teams. National team, you're playing against the best of the best.
Yeah, I mean, I think,
So.
I tell you one thing, John, Serie A will get better if Bari can get to Serie A. If you can see Palermo, Bari.
Yeah, but there's still, listen,
you
in
can
all
see
these
some
leagues,
really
in
good
all the
races.
leagues, all around the world, all the leagues, there's only a handful of good teams, the ones that are on top, 1 to 4, that are consistently good, right?
Yeah, there's always.
And then the rest of the teams is a major drop-off.
Well, it remains to be seen on what's, how that's all going to
But
transpire.
there are teams that are still there. There's teams that they still struggle, like Benevento. Benevento is a team that, how many games they won,
Yeah, they
and,
were.
It's already Giornata 30, so,
Yeah.
I mean, wow.
They showed that they didn't belong in Serie A because they,
No.
they really had a very disappointing season.
No, but they'll go back to Serie B, and they'll have a good season and come back to A, and they'll be bouncing back and forth.
Well, we'll have to see, but the good news for Italy is you got good goalies in place. Simone Scuffet, 20 years old.
Yep.
I mean, that's remarkable that they're going to have Scuffet at 20, Donnarumma, phenomenal to have.
Well, they have no problems with the goalkeeper.
Yeah.
We know that. You know,
Stefano
goalkeeper-
Sensi, 21 years old from Sassuolo, John.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you believe all this talent
Yeah.
that we don't know about because
Well-
they're not playing? on
Well, that's the
national
thing,
teams?
that they're not selecting the young guys. You got to make the change, you know?
You do.
You know, you got to get rid of these old guys already, once and for all. I mean,
Sooner or later, you know, you have to. Maybe this is a blessing.
I don't know.
You know, maybe this is a blessing of Italy not going because now they could re-scrap and start from the beginning. But I'll tell you one thing that's hurting them is all the players abroad. Look at the Premier League. You got Gabbiadini, Darmian, Ogbonna, Zappacosta.
Yeah.
Nobody would ever.
Abroad, right.
And then you got Stefano Kaka and Scalotto. You go to La Liga, John and Felix. You got Roberto Soriano, who was on the national team. Nicola Sansone, who was on the national team. Bonera, Zaza,
Yeah.
Vasquez, and Aquilani.
Zaza, we don't want him back on the
Yeah,
team.
I
We don't
agree
want
with
that guy
that.
back after that disaster of a penalty kick he took.
I agree with that.
Forget him.
That was very weird.
Let him stay where he is.
Then you got in France, Marco Verratti for PSG. Diego Motta, who's getting up in age, PSG. Mario Balotelli for Nice.
Bolotelli should be on the team, but
Yeah.
you know, again, he's
Andrea-
on my team.
Yeah,
and he-
we're hoping maybe those two guys, Balotelli and Immobile, might be,
They were a
might be
pair.
combination
They
for,
were
scoring
they
goals.
were together at one point. They were playing together. You know, they were when Immobile first started getting on the national team. He was partnering up with Balotelli.
Super
it's
Mario.
It's a shame that Balotelli, who's tearing it up. I think whoever's the next coach, you can't make excuses. This guy could put the ball in the net, and that's what counts, John.
He's a beast. You don't have to tell me because he's on my team any day.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Any day. He's a beast.
Right now, Italy's lacking scoring power, and the reason is because Balotelli's not on the field.
Look, if even if you get into a tournament like the World Cup, right, and you're playing Italy, if I'm playing Italy, I already know how your style is. You're
Yeah.
a defense. You're gonna think defense. You'll probably score a goal and defend the rest of the game. You got no threat offensively.
Yeah.
Nothing, none whatsoever. So they got to change that.
Yeah.
That's got to change.
gotta
It's
change.
been too long
Too
now.
long. Since 06, when they would
Change that.
score some nice
Yeah,
goals.
get this. You got a guy just like you mentioned, Mario.
Yeah.
Bring him onto the
And
team.
then you look at, they have Andrea Raggi, who used to play with Bari, he plays for Monaco. He's getting up in age. You look at the Bundesliga, guys.
Yeah.
Daniel Cagliari, Vincenzo Grifo, Giulio Donati, and Calderala. You look at the Portugal League, Cristiano Piccini. You go to the EFL in England, Vito Manone, Fernando Forestieri, who played with Bari. He's in England now.
Oh.
It's unbelievable.
You know.
Pisano, Caleb Uban.
There's no question that they got players who have talent there. Okay, they
Look-
just need to be called on.
Look at the Russian league. Domenico Criscito, who was on the national team. Bocchetti was on the national team. You look at the Turkish league, Stefano Napoleoni. You look at Belgium, Nicola Liali, a nice goalkeeper there. Then you go to Switzerland, you got Perretta, Christian Ledesma, who was on the national team, Argentinian, naturalized Italian. Roberto Acquafresca did very good with the under 20, under 21, also was on the national team.
Yeah, I
Di
remember.
Marco, Margiotta, Marcobi.
You know what aqua fresca means? You know what it means, right?
Yeah, cold
Fresh-
water.
There you go.
Yeah. Then you have fresh water, yeah. And then you got Christian Pasquato, who was a youth player for Juventus. He's
Yeah.
playing in Poland. Leon Fassan in England. It's unbelievable how we got more good players abroad than we do in the Italian league all of a sudden.
Yeah, and I wonder why.
Look at
There's a-
Giovinco. There's been talk of Giovinco, who's tearing it up in MLS. Why isn't he getting the call up?
Well, his Toronto FC team is not playing so well. I think after 3 or 4 games, they only won 1. So maybe a little MLS Cup hangover with them.
Yeah.
You know.
And then you got Antonio Nocerino, who was on the national team. He's with Orlando. Matteo Mancos for Montreal.
Absolutely, Giovinco should definitely be on the national team too, and he doesn't get called up.
And Gonde called him one time when he was playing in MLS. That was nice.
Yeah.
Marco Donadel, who was playing for Verona, then he got picked up in the MLS with Montreal. Look at the Australian League. Massimo Maccarone. Marco Rossi used to play with Bari.
Right.
Jacopo La Rocca. All these Italian players are playing in every league. You name any league, they're there. Barba, Longo, Fabrini, Di Murtu, Toscano. You go to the Scottish Premiership, Massimo Donati, who played with Bari, he's back there.
Okay.
Then you go to the Croatian League, you got Syed, the Romanian League, Fausto Rossi. It's remarkable.
Yeah, it's just again, you know, they got to be called on.
What about
And-
Graziano Pele, who was with the national team? Remember
Yeah,
him?
yes.
He's playing in China. He's
Yeah.
with
Yeah,
Shanghai.
you probably. Well, why is he in China?
I don't know.
Got it.
Then remember Lanzafame, who played with Bari? He's playing in Hungary right now.
Well, you see, it's all about the money. It's all about the opportunity they got. You know, some of these players are happy to play for Roma. I mean, Roma is not the first, on the top of the list, but listen, they can score. They got some great players from, some different parts of the world. Everybody's struggling, because it's a struggling game. It's a lot about, doing your best.
I tell you, Roma hasn't won the Champions League in a very long time.
Yeah,
John.
again,
They do again.
My vote would be to see an all-Italian final. Only because you want to see something different. And I know it's two Italian teams, but you've seen Barcelona win it. You've seen Real Madrid win it, right?
That's true.
You've seen those teams. And, let's get an all-Italian. We're not in the World Cup. So, this will be like our World Cup final.
For sure.
A Juve, Roma.
Oh, definitely.
That would be really nice.
That would be.
And it'll give these other players a chance to go home early and get ready for their World Cup team, national teams.
That's true. That's a good point. Well, in the Europa League, you got the only team you could cheer for now is Lazio, and they've been doing very nice, and they're holding their own in Serie A. Let's see how far they can go.
Although I think Juventus has a couple of Argentinian players that are on that team, right?
Yeah, they do.
Yeah. So
what would be interesting, John, if Ibrahimovic gets called up to help Sweden in the World Cup? I think at 36 years old.
He mentioned that on his interview after the game on Saturday. He may go if he feels that he's going to go.
And the fans want to see all the best players. You want to see the superstars.
Hey, listen. If it's his last shot at the World Cup, why wouldn't you want to go? If you're healthy, he's going to go.
And there's also talk, Felix, Rafael Marquez being called up to Mexico to help them to try to, do well this time around. Also.
Listen, if you're a soccer player and you have a shot of playing in the World Cup, you're going to go.
Yeah, that's true.
There's no doubt about that. So he's going, I believe, unless injury is going to keep him out. It
would be an interesting play again called up for the national team, Andrea Ranocchia, because him and Bonucci, they started out with body. They played well together. Yep. So it'd be interesting to see if
Bonucci's he's a beast, that guy. Yeah. Well, he scored a goal on Saturday against Juventus.
Well, he's the leader now. When it comes to the national team, he's he's the captain.
And that's the problem with Milan. I mean, they don't have goal scoring, right? He's a defender that came up and scored probably on a corner, right? It was a corner kick, I think. So,
And what do you think, Felix, about video replay? Are you excited about it? The first time ever, we're going to have it. It's official. They are definitely going to go with it. The president of FIFA, Gianni Infantino, is very excited about having the most important decisions made with the replay, and it's due. Too long.
Well, I think that is great because it's going to help the game. Because there's going to be, you will be able to see the referee will be able to see when the defenders touch the ball with the hand. There's going to be penalties. There's going to be goals that are going to be, offside because the offense is a little bit too far up.
That's true.
So maybe that's going to help again. I mean, if you see Serie A games, you will see the difference when they have the VAR. And they are able to know whether it's a penalty or it's an offside or something. Many times if you are watching the game, you won't see that. Depending on the angle. So I guess that's great. Technology is actually going to be helping.
That's for sure. Even with the red cards, to see if someone fortunately in the World Cup when Materazzi was headbutted by Zidane, the linesman brought it up. But sometimes you don't catch everything. But now with the replay, you're going to get the important things: the offsides, the penalties, the red cards. It's a long time coming, and I'm glad that finally it's going to make its debut.
Yeah. Well, now with the replays, who makes the call on going to the replay? Is it the referee or is it the guy in the video room there?
Well, the referee's got a signal to let them know. If there's something that he's unsure of.
That's the question. That's my question. Who's the guy that makes the call? Let's go to the replay. Is it?
It's the ref. The ref is usually the
one.
Well,
it doesn't matter. What really matters is who makes the decision. It's the ref that has to go to the monitor and check whether what's going on.
Is there somebody telling the referee, hey, look, we got to take a look at this because it might have been a handball or something?
It might be a collaborative effort, a team effort.
Because if the don't forget, the referee is engaged in the game and he's focusing. He's got to follow the game, the flow of the game. Now, if there's a guy,
let me tell you, not every handball it's going to be a penalty. Sometimes it's unintentional.
Right. Exactly.
If they are able to, if the referee, looks at the replay, he sees that it was unintentional, they are not going to give the penalty.
Yeah, I think the best way for this thing to work is that somebody contacts the referee in his headset and says, "Hey, look, you got to take a look at this. I think there was, could have been a foul or something." That's how I think it's
the
going to
ref
work
has
the
got
best
that
way.
now. He's got the headset, which is good. They've
Yeah.
given a lot of aid to the refs
Yeah.
that didn't exist before.
Well, I'm a referee also, so when I'm doing my games, I listen. You don't catch everything. You're definitely not going to see everything.
course
You're
not.
following the ball.
Mm-hmm.
So
You see,
some.
last week I was watching a game, Colombia, and let me tell you, those guys, they play rough. I mean, you
Yeah.
can see a penalty, you can see red cards, you can see anything you want there because they
Yeah.
very rough.
Yeah, I think the best way for it to work would be somebody contacting the official, the referee.
Someone upstairs, like
Yeah,
they do in hockey. They do
wherever
that.
somebody's watching the game on video and call them back. Like if there was a goal scored and there was an offsides, you call the referee and say, "Hey, look, take a look at this. It might have been an offside."
Yeah.
I think that's the best way to go about
Well,
it.
the world we live in today, technology is everything. So I think this is awesome because last World
Yeah.
Cup they had the goal line technology making its debut. Now
Right.
it's going to be everything.
And
so.
you don't want to take too long with these replays too, because you kill the momentum of the game. Also,
Yeah,
you want to do it quickly.
I think that they have the
Really
know-
want to do it real quick. Have that video ready for that referee when he comes running over to
for
the
sure.
sideline.
well, the way we're going, one day a robot will be ref in the game.
Yeah,
You know?
oh, yeah.
But I think this is justified. There's just been too much controversy. What happened to Italy in 2002 and Korea and Japan? What happened to England when Capello was coaching them
Yeah.
with Frank Lampard? There's been too many bad decisions, and now for the fans, I think this is justified for the fans that get their justice
Mm-hmm.
because a lot of these fans, they're very passionate and they've traveled to see their teams, and then all of a sudden they've been hurt by miscommunication and bad decisions. So I think this will end the corruption, and it's about time because every sport has got it. You got to follow.
Let's just hope we don't have to use too much of the replay. That the officials, all 3 or 4 of them, on the field do a good job. Let's hope. Because listen, if we go the less replays we use, I think the better. Let the game be in the hands of the officials. Hopefully they'll catch everything.
Time will tell.
Yeah.
And the World Cup song is going to be "Colors" by Jason Derulo. I previewed the song. It sounds like a good song. They always usually have a good song for the World Cup. So
Yeah.
we're getting there. I mean, we're fastly approaching. June 14th is the debut.
Right.
We're getting there very quickly.
Okay. Oh, well, we're definitely gonna do a World Cup show probably early June. We'll do
we'll
a
get
show.
Felix to jump on with us.
Yeah, we'll do an early June, all exclusive World Cup show, and we'll definitely make our picks and all that stuff.
Speaking of June, Italy's got 2 friendlies in June.
Yeah.
France and Holland.
Well, look, these friendlies don't mean anything unless they're using their young players.
Yeah.
You want to see what you got in the farm team
That's right.
and with the youth side of soccer. You don't want to have these Buffons and all these other guys. All due respect to them, but we don't want to see them anymore.
No, it comes to
You
a
know?
point where, you've done everything there was to do. So
Yeah.
it's time to turn the page, and I think they will because you got too many good players that need to be put in.
Yeah. Yeah. So
I mean, you
just,
look at
you got to have. I mean, Bonucci's going to probably be the captain.
Yeah.
Right, of this team
He
going
is.
forward. He's going to probably lead, and you need him. He's probably going to be like the oldest player for the national team. So you just got to sprinkle in the youth. The U.S. is doing the same thing.
yeah, for sure. I mean,
Yeah.
Well, hopefully next World Cup will be better. So, I wish Italy the best, you guys.
I think
Well, the
Italy,
United States needs to play Italy in friendly games.
Yeah,
They're both,
they've
they're
played
both not
before.
doing anything
I
for
know.
the summer.
That's true. Well, they're talking about a mini tournament in the U.S. The teams
They-
that didn't make it, they want to do a mini tournament. Italy,
Yeah,
Holland,
yeah.
Ghana,
Yeah.
USA. They're talking about. It's in the early
No,
stages.
I think those guys get front row seats at the World Cup. All of them. They give them the first 2 rows.
Well, knowing the history with Italy, when they haven't been to World Cups, they've always bounced back and been better than ever. You look at the history.
There's
of
nowhere to go but up here.
That's
you know,
true.
with them, really.
Oh, that's for sure.
This is the bottom.
Yeah,
They definitely crashed, and they have to build.
and now they got the European tournament coming up. They got to play Portugal. They got to play Poland. They got to play Ukraine.
But you
Those
got to
games
qualify. Those are
yeah,
qualifying games.
games.
September.
Yeah, those are coming up.
Yeah, September.
So, you're going to go up against stiff competition, so they
So-
got to be ready.
So they need to really name a coach and get going. Let this coach put a team together, get some friendly games, and see what you got.
Oh, that's for sure.
You know,
I mean, you look at some players in Serie A that maybe people don't get the attention, but you got someone like Alberto Grassi.
Yeah.
You know, like maybe a lot of people haven't heard of him. What about Massimo Trotto, who's got 3 goals with Crotone? You know, like.
well, look, we got
get them in the mix.
about 4 minutes to go, right? 2 minutes. He's got 2.5 minutes. So let's talk about the MLS for a minute. With Felix there. Felix, what's your take on the MLS and the quality of soccer in this country?
Well, it's changing. I mean, you see Ibrahimovic. He just scored a great goal from, like, I don't know how many feet that was, but
About
it was pretty
45,
far.
at least 40
And he was
40
very
yards.
excited about it. He was happy that he was able to score.
Well, you know what? You know, people saying all over the internet, if you look around, you know, it's just the retirement league, the MLS. So, you know.
Well, you know what, John? They got to get them early. Like when David Beckham came, he came at the right age. He came at the right age.
Yeah.
And
But
there's
he,
also,
you know, you say that he came at the right age, but he played a lot of soccer in Europe before he came here.
yeah, he did.
A lot.
But he was bouncing back from MLS and AC Milan. And
Right.
you know, there's a rumor that Beckham might be in line for the U.S. coach too, because his wife Victoria Beckham, his family's here. They're talking about not only is he going to own the club in Miami, in Florida, he's going to own the you know,
Miami
the
team.
next.
Yeah. In
the
2
next-
years, they're
yeah,
going to come
the expansion team that's
Right,
coming.
Miami.
But there's a rumor that he still can coach the U.S., and that's a rumor that's going around. But I tell you one thing, Messi, 30 years old, going to go on 31. Maybe after the World Cup, try to offer him something that's enticing. And even the same can be said with Ronaldo.
One more thing about the MLS. I was watching I just caught a highlight of the Red Bulls and Orlando, okay? Orlando has a throw-in deep in the Red Bulls zone, right? And you cannot, as a professional, at the professional level, allow a goal to be scored off a throw-in.
Yeah.
Okay? And that's what happened against the Red Bulls on Saturday. So I don't think the quality is still, I mean, yeah, you're going to get these guys, they're going to sprinkle in a couple of the old guys from Europe, but it's still, the quality is probably the poorest out of all the leagues
Well, you know what?
around the world.
It's getting there, but John, I'll tell you one thing.
Nah.
You know what? You got to do what happened with the Cosmos in the 70s when you brought all the best stars. You brought
Right.
Giorgio Chiellini,
Yeah.
you brought Pele, Beckenbauer.
Speaking of the Cosmos, thanks for reminding me, they are playing in the U.S. Open Cup now.
Okay.
Yeah, so the Cosmos are back at some level here,
Yeah.
and they are playing. I saw that today. I posted it on the page.
Okay.
So the Cosmos are back.
I want them in the MLS one day.
The thing is, from what I'm hearing, again, I don't think the MLS wants them.
Really.
All right, Felix, thanks for calling in. We got to wrap up the show here.
You got it, man. You got it. Have a good night. Thank you very much for letting me talk to you.
Not a
guys.
problem.
And
Anytime.
we'll see you soon, like John mentioned, for a World Cup preview show.
Yeah.
We'll come up with something good.
Yeah. You could come down. Hey, listen, Felix, you could come down anytime, all right? We do shows here like twice a month or so. So, all right?
All right, guys.
All right, take care. Thank you.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Yeah, so we're about to wrap up. We're getting the signal there. As soon as we hear the music and there's the graphics coming up. Again, Vito, in 2 weeks we'll be back at it again.
Yeah.
And we'll know more about the Champion League's,
Sure.
results back then. Forza Body, as always, we need to keep pushing them. And we'll see you guys in a couple of weeks live in Studio A.
Okay.
All right, Vito, thank you again for
Okay,
coming
you're
on.
quite welcome.
All right.
Quante volte mi hai deluso, non importa, io ci credo e vivo il mio sogno. Pari grande amore, pari unica e sola, pari nel nostro cuore. Non ti lasceremo da sola, facci sognare ancora, facci gridare ancora, pari nel nostro cuore. Non ti lasceremo da sola.